Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we are back to refresh our BILT Rewards MasterCard video. Now, if you remember, this was the card came out about a year ago that was tackling one of our biggest payments that we can't currently earn points on, and that was rent payment. So we have some updates. So of course, we'll cover everything that's new, talk about everything that's carrying over, go over some use cases of the card to figure out as a renter if this is a card worth considering in your arsenal or not. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, again, like we said at the top of the show, BILT Rewards is not necessarily a new card. We have a video on this about a year ago. When it came out, it was with Evolve Bank, and at the time, it was kind of waitlisted only, so they've been slow rolling it to people. There are people who have the card, been using it. So now the change is that it's moved from Evolve to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is the new issuer. So it's not like Wells Fargo did not buy BILT out. It's more like a partnership or like a co-branded deal, if you will. I also understand that Wells Fargo may have had some kind of like financial stake or investment in BILT as a company. So, that could explain a lot how they ended up partnering, especially as Wells Fargo is trying to rebuild their credit card portfolio. So, the real question, though, is was this a good move for Wells Fargo to bring it in-house? And a better question is this a good move for you if you don't have the card and want to consider it, or if you have the card already, are these changes going to affect you positively or negatively? So, let's go ahead and take a look at the new BILT Rewards MasterCard and see what we get. And so here we have it, BILT Rewards. Now, we can see they're keeping the same design, which is nice because it's black, and of course we like black, and it's probably still metal. I can't imagine them rolling out plastic cards. That would be a downgrade. Also MasterCard World Elite, which is nice. But the things you really care about is clocking in at a $0 annual fee, which is nice. Now, the multipliers here, it is worth noting that in order to activate these multipliers, you must make 5 transactions a month on the card to earn points. I have a tip on that later, so stay tuned to the end. But of course, the star of the show is rent payments. You're going to get a 1x back on rent payments. And the key here is that there are no transaction fees or no processing fees when you do this. Now, your rent earnings is going to be capped at 50,000 points a calendar year. You're also going to get 3x back on dining and 2x back on travel. In addition to that, we do have a few benefits to talk about. So the card does come with some travel insurances. You're also going to get cell phone protection, one of the fan favorite MasterCard World Elite benefits, about $800 in coverage with a $25 deductible. And a few of the other MasterCard benefits come over, like you have the 3-month trial of the Lyft Pink membership. So overall, that is the updated BILT Rewards card. Now overall, I do think this is probably better or more user-friendly than the First Pass. Now, the First Pass, I'll put up the old version on screen if you want. I don't want to confuse things too much, but this is the old version. The old version kind of required a lot of spend or commitment to the card. Now, in return for that spend, you could potentially get much higher earnings on your rent, but it was still a lot of money to commit to one card. Could be better spent in other multipliers. This simplifies it completely, just again requiring those 5 transactions a month to earn points. So overall, I do like the direction that they're going. Now, the real question here is, how does this all work, right? Why have no other issuers tackled rent payments yet? Well, again, the thing is that, you can basically pay anything with a credit card. It's just that the other person on the other end is going to charge you a processing fee or transaction fee because they don't want to absorb that fee on your behalf because, again, the payment networks, processors, they're all going to get their cut. So what BILT's done, and I'm not going to pretend that I know exactly how they're making or losing money on this. I got to imagine part of the move to Wells Fargo being a top 5 bank in the country was to help that bank roll out a little bit because, if you think about it, I don't know how they're eating the processing fees and still making money, but apparently it's working for them. So if you take a look at it, what BILT's done is they built out a network of basically landlords or property managers, about 2 million units strong is what they're saying. So if you take the BILT Rewards card, you pay them directly, that's going to code as rent. It's going to trigger your 1x back and you're going to earn your points. Pretty easy and straightforward. That processing fee is not going to be charged to you. But again, I assume someone has to pay the processing fee, but I don't know. That's not for us to worry about. I guess we just want our points. So what happens, though, if your landlord isn't in this network? Like myself, I rent a home to a tenant. I'm clearly not in the network, or I'd probably know how this worked. Well, they have you covered there, too, because what you can do is you still get the BILT Rewards card. You can use their app And if you're familiar with plastic, it seems to work the exact same way as well. BILT would charge your card the rent, whatever, $1,000, whatever your rent is, ACH, or cut that landlord a check, you would still get your points, your rent will be paid, and you'd be good to go. So that really takes the guesswork out of figuring out if they're in the network or not. On some level, it doesn't even matter to you as a customer if they're in or out of the network. You just need to know how you're making your payment, but again, it should work all the same. So again, someone renting from me, they would be able to do this. So that's how it works. Now, what are you going to do with all those points you're going to potentially earn, right? Because, it sounds like a tough cap, but again, it's 1x back, and $50K a year in points is quite a bit when you're talking about only 1% back. So what can you do with those points? Well, there's two things we need to look at. First of all, there's BILT Reward status tiers that you get based on how many points you earn in a calendar year. Then there's actual redemptions themselves. So first off, let's start by taking a look at these status tiers to see what you can get. Then we'll talk about the redemptions. And so here we have it, BILT Reward status tier. So there are 4 tiers total. Now again, this is based on your annual points earnings. So the blue tier is where everyone starts. And for the blue tier, you're going to get 1-to-1 point transfers to airlines and hotels. So spoiler alert on the redemptions. Access to the BILT collection. And then on-time rent payments will be reported to credit agencies. So this will help you build credit. And this could really come in handy if you're maybe younger, renting like a college apartment or something like that. You're talking about maybe 12 more on-time payments a year, which is nice. Now, silver status is at 25,000 points earned annually on the card, so you're going to get everything in blue tier, plus 10% bonus on lease incentives, points from participating properties, and interest earned on points, which I'm not quite sure how that works. I couldn't find an interest rate exactly, but it is nice that they're at least talking about it, considering most issuers say your points are worth nothing and you don't own them until they're redeemed. Now, at gold tier, 50K points, again, everything in blue and silver, plus a home ownership concierge. And then platinum status, you're at 100K, which is going to be a gift from the collection. So in terms of redemptions here, believe it or not, travel. Now, again, they do have travel insurances on the card, and it's a multiplier, but they do have travel or transfer partners, which is very nice to see. And again, those are going to be a 1-to-1 in just that blue tier, so everyone's going to have 1-to-1 access immediately. Now, in addition to that, you can do rent and down payments. Now, from what I've read, I think the Points guy has an older article about this, but points for rent is surprisingly low. I think it's like half a cent a point for rent, which is odd. But down payments, I've read, could be about 1.5x back on your points, which is not bad, as some renters do want to transition to home ownership. So that could be something to consider. And then you also get access to redemptions for like fitness classes. So SoulCycle, i7 Studios. I'm not super familiar with these, but again, I've read the valuations can get very close to about 1 cent per point. And then, of course, there is the BILT collection, which is kind of like a trendier version of IKEA, I guess. You can pick out stuff from your apartment and cash in rewards. I wouldn't use this one, though, because, again, when you do merchandise, points valuations are usually fairly low. So overall, let's close on some last things to know here. Again, you can only earn points on one property. That's important to note. Now, again, you must make 5 transactions a month to earn the points. However, in my credit and finance world, I've always found Amazon reloads are an easy way around minimum transactions. I believe you can do Amazon transactions for as low as 50 cents. So if you just put in this card and did 5 Amazon reloads for 50 cents, if you wanted to, I usually do them for $1 personally. So you did 5 $1 transactions. That would, in theory, solve your your multiple transactions. Now again, there is no cash back here. The redemptions we went over is what you're limited to. And now remember, this is with Wells Fargo. So we do have Wells Fargo application rules. So there are 2 here. They're directly from Wells Fargo's site. So may not be eligible for a new bonus if you open a new card within the last 15 months with Wells Fargo, but that one doesn't apply here because there is no sign-up bonus at the time of taping. But if you're watching this in the future and there is a sign-up bonus, just remember that one. Now, the second one may apply to you, might not qualify for a new card with Wells Fargo if you've opened a Wells Fargo card in the last 6 months. So again, that could apply to you depending on if you just picked up the active cash, or again, if you're watching this in the future, Wells Fargo is planning on, rolling out many more cards, this year in 2022. So overall, final thoughts. Again, I think if you're a renter, I think this is a fine pickup, honestly, because the 5 transactions you can automate through Amazon, and you just do 5 $1 reloads, not a big deal. I do it all the time for other things, and it works no problem. So I would assume that trick should carry through and work. Now, again, your 1x back is, again, you're not going to earn a lot of points, no, but you can't earn anything right now. So being able to earn 1x back is a start. So again, if you're a renter, someone like that, I think this is definitely an easy pickup for you for sure. Now, again, just be careful of those Wells Fargo rules. Now, as far as redemptions go, there's no travel portal, so you're not like booking flights and hotels through there. But as it's been pointed out, the good news is they have some major players, which really means that you can use this card only for rent. Do your 5 Amazon reloads, use this card for rent, and then if you're running a Chase setup or an Amex setup or a Citi setup, they have overlapping transfer partners. Chase and Hyatt are huge. I think Emirates or American Airlines isn't with anyone. IHG, all these guys kind of overlap. So you can, in theory, have a points setup with Chase or Amex or whoever and still have this as kind of a points earning card. That's probably the best way to do it, honestly. Now, if you want to do cash back, then I would look more into that saving up the points for the rent, for the down payment on or your first down payment on your mortgage. That would probably be the way to go. I don't think you're going to get a lot of stuff on the collection from them or the fitness thing. I don't think the value is really there, but overall, I think this is good because, again, this means there's like one final frontier left in earning points, and that is mortgages. And if someone finally tackled rent, again, I think it's only a matter of time before someone tries to tackle mortgages. So overall, I think this is a solid pickup by Wells Fargo. Good for them for being aggressive. And again, if you're a renter, I think this is a solid card and easy recommend. Even if you have other setups, you can easily work it in there. So anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me the old thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. My question for you guys is, one, if you are already on the BILT Rewards waitlist and you got this card, let us know your experiences using it, how the redemptions have gone for you, what your experience been with landlords using this card, as well as what you think about the old one versus the new design. And again, if you don't have the card yet and you are a renter, of course, let me know what you think about this. Is this what you've been looking for? Are you going to pick it up for this use case? Or let me know your thoughts. I'd love to get your opinions. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.